Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 249. It is Monday. Here in Cincinnati, it's gorgeous, hot, blue skies, warm temperatures. It's a really pretty day out. And the message or theme or word for today is tranquility. I have been moving very quickly over the last couple of weeks, and lots has been happening. And when I sat down today, it's the first time in a while that, in several days, probably 4 or 5 days, that I had my own regular practice for the morning with meditation and running and bath and the things that I normally do to fully prepare for a podcast. And so when I sat down, there's this feeling, when you settle into a familiar space. And the first thing I was asking, the guides that I work with, the energy that's always around me is, what is the vibration or the feeling or the word that you can offer me in this moment to guide my day, to guide the week ahead, to guide the podcast. And clear as could be, I heard and felt this word tranquility. And I just sat for a few minutes just feeling the vibration of the word. So tune into that if you'd like with me. What does tranquility feel like when you hear the word, and what images perhaps come to mind? For me, I see a lake, a big, beautiful lake with no ripples in the water. It's just like this smooth, expansive container of energy in the form of water, and it's so tranquil, and you feel like you could sit by the side of the lake and just relax and lay down, stretch out, look at the sky. There's nothing to do. There's nothing that has to be put onto an agenda. There's just this sense of everything is perfect exactly as it is. And so that's the feeling that I was having in my body as I was just sitting in my meditation space, just this really calm, quiet, inner listening, or just spaciousness. It wasn't even that there was anything to listen to or for. It was just stillness, just being still and feeling so at ease. And so that's the vibration or the sensory experience I offer you also in this moment. Often Monday mornings are hectic and busy, and we jump up and we run around and we do all the things that need to get done to begin the week. Here in Cincinnati, it's also the beginning of the school year for our biggest public school system. And so there's a lot of activity and newness and unknown for so many people as they start this Monday. Everyone's getting into a new routine and adjusting to the busyness, the schedule, and logistics. There's just a lot that's happening. And so perhaps for you, if you find yourself in that space of busyness, the word tranquility isn't externally experienced. It's not that you can see tranquility around you because there's perhaps more action than ever around you. So then the invitation would be, can you feel that inside of you? Even with a lot of activity, can you tune into what tranquility inside feels like? And so that may be visualizing, just for a moment, closing your eyes, as long as you're not driving, closing your eyes and seeing that tranquil lake, imagining yourself laying by the side, looking up at either stars, if you like a night sky, or clouds, white clouds floating above you, if you prefer the daytime. Can you bring that feeling of tranquility into the cells of your body, no matter what is happening around you? Because when we're able to do that, when we can access that feeling inside of us, despite any external chaos, we change. We change inside, and the way that we communicate becomes different. The way that we look someone in the eyes is different. The ways that we are present, just simply listening or observing what is happening around us, that shifts. And it all comes from right inside of us individually. And then it doesn't really matter if there's chaos around us. The feeling that we hold is so powerful and gentle, and it brings such relief into the chaos around us that the people around us begin to shift. It's really remarkable to try this if you haven't done this before. Just close your eyes for a few minutes and feel, experience, put yourself into the visual image of being by a tranquil lake, and relax your muscles and allow your cells to adjust to what you are visualizing. And then when you open your eyes, maintain that sense of tranquility just by simply setting the intention that you can do that. We are so powerful. If we choose to focus on a vibration of a word and hold it within us, we absolutely can. And the more we practice it, the longer we can hold that steadiness, that vibration. And then pretty soon we're walking around most of the day very tranquil, and everything around us may look like crazy. But we're so at ease navigating through our day that the chaos just stays external. It doesn't ruffle our feathers inside. And pretty soon, chaos doesn't match the feeling inside of you, and the chaos starts to move itself away. And our lives become simpler. Our lives become more tranquil, because we inside are feeling that and emanating that out into the world. So, yeah, it's an idea to consider and to play with today. What I know is that it feels better. It feels better to our muscles that normally are very tense. When we are tranquil, our muscles feel better and they actually become stronger. They aren't in stress and maxed out mode. They're able to relax, and our breathing becomes calmer and deeper, which absolutely relaxes our heart muscles and our lungs. And it allows more oxygen to flow through to our brain and to every cell in our body, which is healthier for our bodies. When we are tranquil inside, we begin to find the humor in things. We can observe someone who is clearly in chaos without feeling like we have to go in and save them. And there's a bit of a giggle that can come up inside when you see someone in chaos and you understand that the chaos is not necessary, or it doesn't have to look the way that they're creating the chaos to look. There's a bit of silliness that we find in the person's behaviors or word choices or their overreaction as we see it from our tranquil place of being. We can sort of find the silliness in how we act as humans when we're out of control. And we can find perspective. So we begin to see that, when we're tranquil and the people around us are losing their minds, like, it's all so unnecessary. It just doesn't have to be that way. And so why are we choosing to do that? And we begin to have a lighter feeling, a more lighthearted experience of life. And so we can laugh at ourselves for the times we've been that silly person overreacting. And we can bring laughter into the conversations when others are overreacting, and hopefully that laughter brings some ease. There was a great story I was listening to in an Esther Hicks recording just this weekend, and she said she was on her way to a workshop and her flight was delayed, and so they got on the plane, and an hour later they all got off the plane, and she said she sat down and was calm, tranquil, because she knew she had plenty of time. If she needed to rent a car and drive 5 hours, she could do that. So she was just sort of waiting to see what would happen. And this woman went up to the person at the counter and started losing it and yelling and creating a scene. And there was a moment where Esther says, and as I was watching her, I was a little amused because I remembered when that had been me, when I had been that person. I had been the one that would go up and have a fit because things were not being controlled in the ways that I wanted them to be. And things resolved themselves, right? The situation resolved itself, and she was able to simply sit and observe and watch and stay tranquil, and the other person was having this much more chaotic, intense experience of the same dilemma. When we're able to feel calm and at ease within ourselves, we can find the humor in what is happening around us. And whether we share that humor with the people who are in chaos or not, we feel better, because we know that we're choosing a different way of experiencing life, of being in this world. The more that we allow tranquility to guide us, the more that we pause and breathe and relax our muscles and cue our bodies to being at ease, the more familiar that way becomes. And the more familiar it becomes, the more it becomes a habit. And as that feeling of tranquility becomes a habit, at some point, chaos doesn't feel familiar anymore. Tranquility is so comfortable and it feels so good to us that the chaos doesn't match. But we have to begin somewhere. And if you find yourself in chaos all the time, the invitation is just start pausing, just start closing your eyes and visualizing yourself like I described, laying on the grass next to an immense, beautiful, tranquil lake, looking up at the sky and just watching the clouds move, feeling the breeze go through the trees and move your hair a little bit and tickle your ears, and feel the warmth. Feel the spaciousness of a day that does not have to be filled with chaos. As we tune into that image and that vibration and that feeling of tranquility, and we do it more and more often, even if it's just for 30 seconds several times a day, the more we do that, the more it becomes the way that we live our lives. And long term, for the health of our mind, body, spirit, it's really important that we start moving to tranquility, because chaos and stress are going to wear down the body faster than anything else. So begin wherever you're ready to begin, and you can come back to this if guidance is helpful or the image in my voice describing it is helpful. Come back, do the podcast over and over, and what you'll find is you crave tranquility. You crave that sense of ease, and the more you are in that, the better and better your life gets. So we begin this week on a Monday in the middle of August with tranquility, and we see where the week takes us. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.